Let's talk about the ACT science section. For a lot of people, this is the part of the test that can feel the most intimidating. But what if I told you that one of its absolute trickiest questions actually has a really simple solution? Well, in this explainer, we're going to break down a winning strategy to solve it every single time. You know that feeling, don't you? You're staring at some crazy chart, the clock is just ticking away, and every single answer choice looks kind of plausible. It honestly feels like a trap, almost like it's designed to make you doubt yourself. And this question right here? This is usually the culprit, the which experiment best answers the question type. This isn't just about reading some data off a graph. It's about, really evaluating the whole scientific process. But there's a super reliable way to tackle this, and we're about to walk through it together. So what is this method? Think of it as your secret weapon. It's a 3-step strategy that's just designed to cut right through all that confusion. Okay, here it is. It's really this simple. 3 steps. First, you're going to identify the goal. Second, you'll check the setup. And third, you'll compare the experiments. That's it. That's the whole roadmap. So let's break down what each of these really means.
All right, let's dive right into step 1. Identify the goal. Seriously, this is the foundation for everything else.
So before you even think about looking at the answer choices, your first mission is to read that question carefully and figure out what it's really asking. What's the main point, the core objective? You gotta know what you're looking for before you can find the right answer. And here's the good news. These experimental goals, they usually fall into some pretty predictable patterns. The question is often asking something direct, like what's the effective temperature or time? Or maybe it's just trying to find out which substance is different. Pinpointing this specific goal, well, that's your first huge win. So once you've locked in the goal, it is time for step 2. Check the setup. This is where we get into the nitty-gritty of how the experiments are designed. Now, to really get a grip on the setup, you need to master this one key idea, the variable. Okay, so in any good, clean experiment, a scientist only changes one thing on purpose. That one thing, that's the variable. Everything else, it stays exactly the same. And why is that so important? Well, because it's the only way to know for sure that the one thing you changed is what actually caused the result. So when you're looking at the different experiments, just scan for these 3 things. Think of it like a checklist. First, what are the actual variables being tested? Second, what are they changing from one trial to the next? And third, what are they measuring at the end? The right answer is going to be the setup that perfectly, and I mean perfectly, matches the goal you figured out in step 1. And this is how it all connects. Think of the question as a lock, and the experiment as the key. So if the question is, what's the effect of temperature, then the only key that's going to fit that lock is the experiment where temperature is the single thing they changed. It has to be a direct match, no wiggle room. And that brings us to the final step, step 3. Compare the experiments. This is where you make your choice. This quote right here, this pretty much sums up the entire mindset you need. You're on the hunt for the cleanest, most focused experiment. The one that gets straight to the point without any extra confusing stuff going on. So let's just look at the difference side by side. A flawed experiment, like the one on the left, it's just messy. It might change the temperature and the substance at the same time. I mean, how are you supposed to know what caused the result? But the best experiment on the right, it's clean, it's focused, it isolates just one variable, which means it's designed to give a super clear, direct answer to the question. So that's the system. That's the whole thing. Let's just do a quick recap and put it all together. It always comes back to these 3 steps. Don't overcomplicate it. It's just 3. So here it is, your new superpower. For these questions, your process is now, first, identify the goal. Second, check the setup and see what they're doing with the variables. And finally, compare the options and find the cleanest experiment. Goal, setup, compare. You follow those steps and you are going to nail the right answer. This strategy is so much more than just a test-taking trick. It's about learning to think like a scientist. Now, you have the tools. So the next time you see one of those questions, don't feel trapped. Feel prepared, because now you know exactly what to do.